LisavanNoorden talked about graphical design at the online workshop with students at the TU Delft. This workshop was organized to invite students to enter the 10th concrete design competition with the theme Reimagine. She has a graphical designer background and she is available for us to comment on the posters that were entered into the concrete design competition, actually the winners from last cycle of the concrete design competition. So if you want to enter the concrete design competition, one of the things that you present your idea on is a poster. It can be one or two-sided. Well, Lisa, the floor is yours to give us some pointers of what to look at into a poster.
Yes, thank you very much for this opportunity, and I'm always enthusiastic to talk about design. What makes a good poster design? I have reviewed the posters that were in the previous design competition. Some of them I will use as an example, but I also want to give you some fresh examples from my own point of view. I will begin with giving you the 4 most important parts of a good poster design. So what makes a good design is at first identity. So try to make it your own. The second one is the composition of it and the flow. And the flow means how do you help people to view your poster? So how are you presenting the information in the poster in a way that your eye follows a natural flow? The third part is, of course, the readability. A lot of people tend to put too much text into a poster or a presentation, and that is not so attractive for a reader. So the last part is the attraction, and that is, it has a good design, nice colors, nice shapes. So I want to illustrate these things. If you want to ask something while I'm presenting, just put on your hand and I will try to answer within the time that we have. All right, so first, identity. This is an artist that you might know, Keith Haring. He was very famous and very big in the 80s. He started out as a graffiti artist in New York, and through the years, he has created a very distinctive personal style. I think most of you will recognize this style of Keith Haring. Is that true? Do you know this artist? Yeah? Okay, well, that's good. So this artist is very recognizable from his style. Even though you don't know that it is Keith Haring, you probably have seen the pictures once. So identity, to make something your own, is very important in creating a style and also a convincing poster. The last time in your previous competition, I saw this picture or this poster by Fons Bramer and Jan Vader. And I was very surprised by the creativity of this poster design. As you see, it has a clear concept, the bead tiles, yes, connected to the Beatles, and also used the visual language of the Beatles. I like this concept a lot, although there's a lot to say about the readability of this poster. So as a concept, it is a big success, I think. But as far as the readability and the way the eye flows through the poster, things can be improved. But it is for me an absolute winner on the part of identity. It's very important that you have your own identity. For example, here you see all books that are about Africa. Well, if somebody makes a book about Africa, somehow they assume that we all feel that Africa looks like this. It is orange, it has a sun going down, it has a giraffe or something in the shadow. It has a real out of Africa feel. There's an advantage doing this, and that is if somebody sees a kind of design like this, somebody will immediately feel, this is probably a book about Africa. But the downside is that it looks the same as every other book. So you don't have any distinctive quality with this design. So it's very important that you make your own design stand out. Well, another part is the readability. I saw this poster. You see, it has a very clear image on the left side and the information on the right side in small chunks. That makes this poster easy to navigate for the eye. So it has a very distinctive composition, 2 parts, the feel and the emotion on the left side and the information on the right side. Not too much text, so I think this is a good design. It's readable for the eye. Now, another 2 examples for readability. The first one, the Japanese Ramen Noodles posters, is very, very simple. You see that the text is, all the information is blocked, is put in clear frames. And also the design of the poster is very simple. So this kind of design makes it easy for us to get to the information and also get overall emotion and feel of the poster. The superhero poster on the right is, as you see, although it is clearly designed, it has simple colors, not too much going on. It has far too much text. It would take us half an hour to just try to conceive what it is all about. And if you see what the question is, will I make a good superhero? Well, I think something like that could be found very easily, probably within 3 or 4 points. So why have all this information for such a question? I understand that there's a lot of information to be told about a product. So people tend to give all this information and maybe more than they need to give. So try to make it simple, be very, how do you say it? I can't come up with the word. Oh, stupid. Well, doesn't matter. Try to be succinct in the text that you are writing. Try to figure out whether this information is really necessary for somebody to understand your project. Okay, another part of a good poster design is the composition, but also the flow. A good poster leads the eye through the information. So in this poster, you see that we have a title at the top, the process of shoes creation, and then our eye goes down to the shoe. So that's the natural flow for the eye. Then the eye goes further down. But then you see that there is a bit of a problem because the eye will go to the above circle first. And in the above circle, there is step 3, which is strange because you would expect there to be step 1. So we have step 3 and then go down to step 2 and then go down to step 1. Now, from the designer point of view, this might be a logical way of showing it because you start at the basis. That's why the designer puts step 1 down below. But then it interferes with the flow of the eye. So in this case, the designer would have done better by either placing the title and the shoe below so that we go from 1, 2, 3 above, instead of placing the title and the shoe on the top side of the poster. Is this something that you recognize when you see this poster? Yeah, okay, I see you nodding. Okay, so this is a basic of how you use composition and flow. There's 2 other examples. I see a poster on the right, which I think has a very good flow for the eye. You see an architectural poster, and it has the main image in the center, and then furthermore main images below. And then all the details and the little things are a little bit grayed out in the top. So when the eye comes into the poster, when the eye enters the room, the space, it will go to the main image in the middle, then go down. And if it wants to know more, if we need more information, more details, then we can start looking at the little details on top. The yellow poster is a very strong typographic poster. It has a lot of information. Of course, you will need to put a lot more information in it, but it is a good example of how the eye is led through the composition. You first go to the title, then you go to the number, and then you go to the dog. Of course, you also have the contrast here, which helps the eye take this tour. All right, well, attraction is another part. We want something that looks nice. We want something that makes us curious to come closer and really get into what your work is about. So that means that you are making choices in coloring, for example. This is two architectural posters, and they have made a very clear choice in the use of color, the use of photography combined with graphical elements, and very strong compositions. So they are simple and easy compositions, and they lead the eye through the work. Well, so those are the four most important parts of making a great design. Identity. Make it your own, make sure you stand out, don't be the African book. The second one, composition and flow. So lead the eye, help the perceiver to go through your information. The readability, make it easy on people. Don't give too much text and present it in edible chunks. And the last part, the attraction, lure people in. Make sure that your poster is interesting to look at and that people want to come closer to take a good look. Well, that's it, folks.
We hear thanks in the chat, but no questions. I think it's a really clear presentation, and will help us make posters. We're not going to make posters today. That's too short a time. Maybe, Siebe, don't you have a question?
I don't. Maybe I have something to add. I completely agree with everything that has been said about a good poster. The only thing I have to add is that you make a poster for a competition entry, and you will be judged on certain aspects. And although you cannot predict exactly what the jury is going to, how the jury is going to react, you have to keep in mind, I think, that you, and that has to do with the good story and the flow through the story, that you try to be very conscious about which aspects of your idea or of the development of your idea or the application of your idea are important to show. And one of the things that is important in this competition is that it's an ideas competition and it's not a beauty contest competition. So we're not looking for the most beautiful building or the most beautiful application, but we're looking for the most smart, interesting, provocative, etc. And that may give you that. Still, you need to make a nice poster, and it should be attractive. But there's probably a different kind of attractiveness than also having to design a very attractive building with it. So that's maybe a kind of addition to the whole thing.
So Lisa, thank you very much for pointing out to us how we could set up the poster. That's very nice. Thanks.
Okay then. Have a nice day. Thank you. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Okay.